Hello everyone, Brian from Watch Complications. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at watch_complications and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. What I'm going to do in this video is a little bit of a follow-up to my previous video on removing a bracelet and links from a bracelet, and specifically from a Christopher Ward Trident Pro 600. And at the end of that video, after removing the bracelet and links and putting the bracelet back together, one thing I didn't show was putting the bracelet back on the case, because I had put this rubber strap on and I particularly like this rubber strap. I think the blue goes good with the case. And so what I'm going to show in this video is how to put the bracelet back on the case, and also just a tidbit about the micro adjustment on the bracelet clasp. So let's get to it. The first thing I'm going to do is take this rubber strap off, and if you recall from the last video, these had quick release pins, so these are nice and easy to take off of the case. If only all straps and bracelets were that easy. All right, so here we have the case and here we have the bracelet, and if you recall, this bracelet has been resized. There are now just 2 of these links on each side that have the removable pins, whereas before there were 3. I removed 1 link from each side. Alright, so let's get this process started. You can see I've got the spring bar inside of the end link that is fitted for the case, and one of these sides is going to be really easy in the sense that what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this spring bar and I'm just going to push it down like so, so it's even like that, and then I'm going to turn the fitted link down like so, and I'm going to sit it on top of the lug, and I'm showing it on this side just so you can see a little bit better, because I'm actually going to push it up again toward the top because it's easier for me to work on this side with just the camera in the way. But I'm going to rest one side of this on the lug, the other side will be ready to slide down into the slot. It's going to make this process a whole lot easier just to do one side and not have to worry about the other. So I'm just going to slide this down, and this will stay in this location. Now, so I'm just going, the way this is going to work is you're going to have to pay real close attention to the angles. I want this side angled to such a degree that it's not going to be much, but just enough to keep this pin from coming out any further when I start pushing on this side. Okay? Now, it's not going to be much. There's just a hair. Most of that pin could come out if it was up just a half a millimeter, but it'll be just enough pressure keeping that pin in place. And these are fitted, so this isn't going to easily slide down in because this side is completely out. What I have to do is keep this pressure on just enough on this side that enough of that pin is against the lug so that it doesn't keep sliding out whenever I push on the opposite end. Okay? And so you've got to pay attention and get those angles measured up prior to really going at it. So I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on this side. One thing I mentioned in the prior video in one of the subtitles is, or the captions, is some sort of a protection, and it's easier to scratch these things on this process than on taking it off, just because you're more likely to come in direct contact with the lugs. But you can see that I've got enough of contact against that lug that when I push this, it's not sliding out. And then boom, I just push that in like so. And now the pressure is there. Both sides of this bracelet are in place. It is just on the edge. I mean, you have really little clearance, but it's enough that all I had to do was push on one side. I'm kind of letting physics do the work here. Okay, so let me say this again. What you want to do is have one side pushed down so that the spring bar is flat, and you'll be able to angle this end link just enough that you can get some contact with the tip of this lug so that when you push from the other side, it doesn't go popping out the other. And then all you got to do is put, some sort of a protector right here. Use your spring bar tool, push, and then as soon as you clear that lug, it'll just slide down because you'll be putting pressure on it for the spring bar anyway. Now I'm just going to slowly work this in, and you'll just hear the clicks whenever this is in place. Boom. So there's the clicks. You might have to just move it a little bit, but they'll slide around and click into place, and there you go. There's one end of the bracelet. And then you just do the same thing on the other side. So what I've done is I put the spring bar in here, flush on this side, and do the same thing. I'm going to angle the link down so that it is just on the end of this lug, flush. This side is sticking out the entire way, but this is actually against the lug, this part of the spring bar. Let me angle that up. You can kind of see it in there. It's just against the lug, just on the tip. And then I could use my spring bar tool, push this in. It's going to go in all the way, and I could snap that down in. Just keep pushing, and use the notch. Don't go try to go on the tip where you're against the lug. Stay down here where that is, and you can see that is now against the lugs on both sides, just being held in place. Again, sort of letting physics do the work. And now I can start twisting this, and if I twist and pop, that'll go right into place. And hopefully this helps give you the idea. And I'm actually just going to pull this out the rest of the way because I want to take the bracelet off. All right, so that is how we do that. Now I'm going to show you the micro adjustment on this just because I didn't in the last video. These bracelets do have a micro adjustment if you find yourself between links in terms of size. All you do is this little tab right here, you just pull it back, and you can see these notches inside of here, this cutout. You just pull this back, and then you can move the bracelet back and forth a little bit. That's the micro adjustment, which gives you just a couple levels in which you can set the bracelet so that if you want it a little tighter or a little looser, depending on how many links are in there, it can fit your wrist a little bit better. So don't forget about the micro adjustment whenever you're wanting to fit one of these to your wrist. Okay, so that's how you put the bracelet back on, and hopefully you find this as helpful as the first video. I'm Brian, Watch Complications. Again, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at watch_complications and subscribe to the channel.